KHOU 11 News This Morning starts now.
And first at 4:30 this morning and breaking overnight, a utility worker is hit and killed on the job. We'll see what we've learned about the driver responsible.
As President Trump threatens to shut down the U.S.-Mexico border, his administration could be getting a new face for its immigration policies.
And former Vice President Joe Biden facing another allegation this morning. We'll hear from his second accuser. And good morning, H-Town. Thanks for waking up with us here nice and early on a Tuesday morning. I'm Russ Lewis.
I'm Lisa Hernandez. It is April 2nd, another chilly start to our day here. Cheetah Craft has our rush block.
I know. In fact, we've already tied our record low temperature for the day. It's pretty impressive here. 38 degrees. That's our record low, and that's where we're at. So a very chilly start to the day, guys. Oh, yeah. Grab the jacket, grab the coat. Once again, the difference today, a lot of sunshine in place. So 33 in Conroe, 37 in Tomball, 39 this morning in Pearland. Almost kind of the reverse what happened yesterday. This morning, we're starting off with some clouds in place, but throughout the day today, these clouds are going to break and lots of sunshine will continue for your afternoon. There's the calm northeasterly winds. They will stay in place for much of the day. Your hour by hour forecast, 2 o'clock, 68. High temperatures this afternoon, right around 70. We'll talk about rain return stuff coming up next.
All right, Cheetah, thanks. Good morning. It's a nice tame start here in traffic. I do have one incident to report, and so we're going to take you to the Katy Freeway inbound side. Not the side we like, but traffic is so sparse out there. I'm not seeing any sign of a backup, but we do have a breakdown in lanes. You're going to encounter that issue at the West Loop. Tow should get there without any trouble. Now, we've got two slow spots on the East Tex Freeway, and this is that portion that's by the Toyota Center and GRB. Usually, construction at this hour is going southbound, so this will shake things up a little bit. That slowing is going northbound, should wrap up around 5 o'clock. The freeway's not completely shut down, just a couple of lane closures. And watch TransStar, they're manipulating the camera as we speak. We had a stall in the area on 288 northbound side just a little bit ago. I watched them roll off the exit, so no longer an issue at Reed, but just up ahead closer to the South Loop, we do have some construction work going on right now. Lisa.
Okay, Steph, thank you. Breaking news from late last night. A utility worker is dead after he was hit by a car near Webster. Houston police say this happened on Galveston Road around 10:30 last night. Investigators say the worker and his crew were moving a large piece of machinery when a driver hit him and drove off, but did return to the scene later. Investigators say alcohol was not a factor. At this time, the driver is not facing any charges.
And we are following more breaking news this morning. A tow truck driver found a woman's body in the back seat of a car in a field on Falls Street in North Houston. Investigators tell us that driver thought the car may have been stolen. When he walked up to check it out, he saw the body. It appears that she had been beaten. Police have not told us yet her name. It's 4:33. The president not backing down this morning from his threat to close the southern border.
And the Department of Homeland Security says it may reassign up to 2,000 Border Patrol officers to stop the influx of migrant families from Central America.
Reporter Manuel Bojorquez shows us what's happening now around El Paso.
U.S. immigration officials say they have reached a breaking point, trying to handle the influx of people seeking asylum.
The challenge that this demographic presents for us, what makes it so unique, is the fact that nearly 70% of them are all family units and unaccompanied children.
Last week, some migrants were housed in a caged section below a bridge in El Paso. Officials said detention centers were beyond capacity. DHS has been forced to release thousands of asylum seekers into the U.S., while others have been sent to Mexico to await their asylum hearing. President Trump slashed the $700 million in U.S. aid to Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras, blaming them for not doing enough to stop the flow of migrants, a move critics say could only make the problem worse. But it's the president's threat of shutting down the border that has others here concerned. We went to an industrial park in Santa Teresa, New Mexico, to see businesses that rely on cross-border trade.
It would cause financial hardship, and you'd put a lot of people out of work. And that's Americans, not Mexicans.
Jerry Pacheco, the president of the Border Industrial Association, says the impacts will have a ripple effect.
You hear that there's a threat to shut down the border, and you think what?
It would be devastating. And not just here. The supply chains all the way back to the Midwest, our auto industry, our ag industry would be affected immediately.
A border shutdown could threaten the more than $611 billion in yearly cross-border trade and impact around 5 million jobs, according to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Thousands of people cross this bridge in either direction every day to go to work or school. The Associated Press is reporting the White House is now considering appointing a point person to oversee all immigration policy, a so-called immigration czar. Manuel Bojorquez, CBS News, El Paso.
A White House security advisor is blowing the whistle on the Trump administration this morning. She says 25 people received security clearances even though they failed to pass their background checks. Tricia Newbold says she came forward to protect national security. The House Oversight Committee released a memo detailing those allegations. None of the 25 people is named publicly. Republicans are calling this a partisan attack. Los Angeles police looking for this man this morning, 29-year-old Eric Holder. They want him for the murder of rapper Nipsey Hussle. A vigil turned violent last night at the strip mall where that rapper died. After a large crowd gathered there, police say at least 6 people were stabbed, others were trampled, and one person was hit by a car.
A second woman has come forward accusing former Vice President Joe Biden of touching her inappropriately 10 years ago. Former congressional aide Amy Lapos says in 2009, the then vice president touched her face and rubbed his nose against hers during a fundraiser. Lapos says that Biden should not run for president.
It's not rape, but it doesn't need to be rape to not be right. It didn't feel sexual. It just felt like a total invasion of my space.
In a statement, Biden's spokesman blamed right-wing trolls for mischaracterizing his affectionate behavior. 2 women who accuse Virginia's Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax of sexual assault are now calling for a public hearing. Vanessa Tyson and Meredith Watson spoke to Gayle King on CBS this morning. The Lieutenant Governor denies both women's claims and has called for a law enforcement investigation, but one of his accusers fears that would allow the issue to be buried.
You have someone in a position of leadership who has the ability to affect legislation on how these issues will be handled. And he himself is a predator.
In a statement, Fairfax says he passed a polygraph test for each accusation against him. There's no word as to whether the Virginia legislature will hold a public hearing.
We have learned this morning a second priest who worked at a church in Conroe has been removed. Jesus Suarez is accused of sexually assaulting children and even getting them pregnant. The Archdiocese says these accusations come from his time in Colombia before he came to the U.S. and served at 4 Houston area churches. He worked at Sacred Heart Catholic Church in Conroe. Letters are going out to parishioners there asking them to notify police if they have any sexual abuse claims involving Suarez. After barely 3 months on the bench, Harris County Judge William McLeod is fighting to stay there. He didn't realize that a run for the state Supreme Court would cost him his current job. That's because the Texas Constitution says that county judges who announce their candidacy for another office automatically resign. Judge McLeod refused our interview request out of concerns about ethics violations, but County Attorney Vince Ryan is taking the matter to county commissioners who could keep McLeod in place until a special election is held.
This would not be the first time that a judge has made a mistake. I would beg the court to leave him where he is. This is where Houstonians want him.
The county attorney would not discuss details of McLeod's resignation. Commissioners are expected to take up the issue on Monday.
Richard slices in, hits it, and celebrates.
Another Texas team is in the Final Four. Baylor women's basketball team defeated Iowa. They now join Notre Dame, UConn, and Oregon to battle for the NCAA title. The Final Four games begin this Friday in Tampa, and that national championship game is on Sunday.
As he hits one over the head of Cabrera down the line in left field.
And that was the go-ahead run there. The Astros get their second win of the season, beating the Rangers 2-1. It was a nail-biter. Same 2 teams tonight in Arlington. First pitch at 7:05.
All right, let's talk to Cheetah Craft right now about some weather. It's a nice chilly start to the day. I love it.
I know. You know, it kind of gives you a little bit of a curveball here this morning. Yeah, you're right. We're already talking temperatures that have tied the record low. That's at Bush Intercontinental Airport. So forecasting a low temperature around 37. I think we're going to break the low temperature today. We tied the record yesterday, so well below average for this time of the year. 65 by your lunchtime hour. High temperatures build to 70. Can you believe that? We're going to go from 30s this morning. Sunny skies throughout the day. High temperatures build to 70. Just picture perfect conditions. The only thing that we're going to have to watch today is an air quality alert. This was issued by the National Weather Service. Typically, when we see these really sunny days and winds that are mostly calm, that added ozone, you'll just see that with a little bit of a haze, especially for the sunset between about 4 to 7 p.m. That's when it's a little bit worse. So you're dealing with an air quality alert. You're also dealing with really heavy pollen. So check this out. Your tree pollen, your grass pollen, both at moderate to extreme levels, and then even your ragweed and your mold spores coming in at low levels. So pollen is really bad, almost out of control. Clear skies though, dry conditions expected for your Tuesday. I'm going to take you out west. This is the next system we're tracking for Thursday. Thursday afternoon, scattered showers. Even a few thunderstorms in the forecast. You can see that on your 7-day. Here's your 7-day forecast. 70 this afternoon. After starting off in the 30s, so layers. You'll want to take the jacket off probably by about midday today, and then lots of sunshine and 70 should be picture perfect. Tomorrow we add that slight rain chance in, only about a 30% chance, and then as we head into Thursday and Thursday afternoon, that's when our rain chances increase, and then they really start to move in for the upcoming weekend stuff.
All right, Cheetah, thanks. Let's go to Spring. We're going to start our trip off there. I want to show you a car that's blacked out on the shoulder. This car stopped around 10:30 last night. It's not uncommon for someone to have a malfunction late at night and then they just decide to leave their car there and deal with the issue the next day. So what I want to point out here is that the hazards are not on when it's blacked out and someone may be exiting close to the area. That could cause a sharp swerve, if not, hopefully not an accident. But that is your northbound side of the North Freeway as you approach the Hardy Toll Road once again in Spring. On your Gulf Freeway, it's a breeze right now if you're going north out of League City and maybe you have a flight early this morning on Southwest and you're going to Hobby. Your trip looks good there as well in both directions, and a little portion of the North Loop. This is in Oak Forest and Garden Oaks. You are driving at top speeds in both directions there. Lisa and Russ.
Okay, Steph, thank you.
It is 4:41 this morning. Advocates fighting for pet medical care. We're going to tell you about a House bill in Austin that could keep nonprofits from providing low-cost vet care.
Plus, a 12-year-old in Michigan on a mission to fix potholes in his area. His story is just ahead.